I know you guys are never think it's over till it's over, but is that about as nervous as you got with seeing a 9-point lead and with 8 seconds go almost evaporate?
Yeah, I would have been disappointed if you didn't ask that as the first question. That was wow. That ball was in the air. It was like that's going in. Yeah, that was for us to really felt like battle, felt like put the game away, but like we told them in the locker room, that's why you never take for granted until that clock kicks 0, because there's just so many things that can happen. But that was one of the wilder sequences I've ever been a part of. Just thankful that ball didn't go in.
How big was Jonathan tonight, especially hitting those threes when it mattered the most? How big is it as a true freshman to come in and a Big 12 game like that where it was a needed game that you needed to win? How big was that?
What I loved about it, and like we tell him all the time too, is keep shooting, because I believe I think he was 0 for 5 at the time, not positive. So to have the courage to still say, Coach has me, like I got the confidence to still shoot this 6th one, when it was a huge shot, like you said, and then he hit another one, after that. So I thought, we needed it at a critical time there, and what a big shot by him for a freshman to step up and have the confidence to still do that on a tough shooting night. I thought it said a lot.
Coach, every different game has a different game plan, obviously. It appeared in this one that you were able to kind of stick to the game plan throughout, even when you had to come back. How much were you able to stick to the game plan? How big of a deal was that, even collectively winning the rebounding battle, which isn't always a thing?
Yeah. We actually had to switch it the second half with about 9-10 minutes to go. We went from like a drop coverage and back in our ball screens to kind of trapping the ball screens, and I thought that was really good for us as that game wore down those last 8 minutes or so. So I thought we did a better job of being able to keep them out of the paint with that coverage, and then they weren't getting downhill, getting to the rim, getting fouled, getting lobs. So I thought Amani did a really nice job of making that adjustment and getting up there, because we don't do that a lot. So I thought he did a good job of executing it.
You talked about with Jonathan having the courage to stay with it after going 0 for 5, and what gives the coach? I mean, you knew coming into this game that he was going to be important to you, but he starts off slow to stay with it.
I watch him work every day, so it's like. When you put in the work, and I watch him shoot every day, and he makes the shot he makes, it's gonna happen. You have to have the confidence to know that you still have the green light to go take those threes, and we're not going to change that philosophy ever. For a guy that shoots it the way he does in practice every day and puts the amount of time in, he's going to always have the green light for us.
Coach, it seems like, throughout the course of the game, there's probably 5, 6, 7, 8 different, storylines going on. Midway through the second half, Andre had just picked up his 4th foul. You guys are down 6, and it just didn't seem like a good moment for you guys. Was there any part of you that kind of felt maybe things were kind of slipping away here at this point?
I mean, we were down 6, and it felt like 20 because we couldn't score at all. So it was. I think they missed a couple of free throws. Somebody finally helped us out and missed some free throws. That was nice of them. So I told a couple guys back there that we've been working on our free throw defense the last couple of days. So glad that paid off. But I think they had a 1-and-1 and maybe a front end 1-and-1 and maybe a 2-shot foul. I think they missed a couple back-to-backs there, so that was certainly helpful in that moment, because we were treading water at best at that point. But after that, I thought those last 8 minutes of the game, JP hitting a shot. Amani had some huge offensive rebounds for us, and then a couple threes as well. And that got our offense going. And then defensively, I thought, to close out the game, I thought we were pretty good, except for those last few seconds.
Amani took us through several options, actually, on a couple of sets on what you're trying to do front side and then how that can roll to the backside. How much of that depends on the reads your players are making on the floor? How much freedom do they have to, hey, look here, this is here, go there, as opposed to just a set play?
Yeah, we're playing off of what they're doing for us. So on several of Amani's screens, sometimes when they come off, they'll double Javon, and tonight Cincinnati was trying to rotate a third guy to Amani. So if they got there, JP was going to be the guy that was standing open because we were putting it where he was the only guy on the backside. So if you're going to come rotate to Amani, that's why JP was able to get the one down pass from Amani. And if they were afraid to leave JP, well, then Amani was going to shoot something open or have a driving lane with our best shooter in the corner. So I thought now that all is dictated by Javon, so Javon's going to be the guy to get doubled, and Javon's got to make the read. So, like always, I thought he did a really good job tonight. Even though he only had 4 assists, he had a lot of hockey assists, passes that led to the next pass. So I thought he did a really good job of handling, what teams are throwing at him, and he did that again tonight.
What does a win like this, even some luck there at the end, but a win like this even say about the mental fortitude of the team? People were calling this a must-win, start out strong and then almost blow it, but you do win.
Yeah, just win. I mean, at the end of the day, that scoreboard just says what it says, and it's however it got there, we want to be on the right side of the column. And we've had a few tough games here that we've lost, with some bad fortune at times. So we're certainly not going to apologize for any of that. But winning's tough. This league is tough every night. It's going to be a 40-minute game, and tonight was no different. So, we're certainly glad that we were able to come away with a win, and we knew we got a big road game coming up following this.
Javon said earlier that with the Zankovic just kind of toughed it out, gutted it out. Was there more to it than that? Did you see something in his play tonight that maybe it was a bit more than just being a tough guy? Or?
Lower body injury, so yeah. I'm not sure, what he has for sure, but he seemed pretty good afterwards. So, but he's a tough guy. He's not going to sit out much. So, at least I don't want him to. So, it was good to see him get back out there.
There was a play in the first half where it seemed like everybody touched the ball and it went around the wing. Maybe even some touched it twice. How does that make you feel as a coach, where you were able to just move the ball so well?
Yeah, I love it. I love it when possessions end up and the shot goes in too, because otherwise on film study the next day you have to cut it off before it goes in. Like great ball movement and then get 3 passes without the ball hitting the floor, and then when they miss, it kind of ruins the point. So I was glad he made it. But I know exactly the possession you were talking about in the first half, and the ball just popped side to side to side, and wham, you hit a wide open 3.
Darren, it's kind of 2 questions. I'll go to the first one here. You're playing a number of teams the second time here, and the preparation, I imagine, is a lot easier for the players because you can draw that we taught them the first time. They saw, even during the game, hey, they did this. How valuable is that in a game like this where the margins are so small and you can only do so much. You're not going to get surprised too much by the other team.
Right, and that's what, to your point, that's what makes league play so hard when you're playing that team a second time, because both teams have the same advantage, right? So they're going to know all your favorite little quick hitters, all your favorite sets. You used a lot of them probably the first time, so they're going to be sitting on a lot of your favorite plays. So, trying to come up with a few new things, or maybe some other things you haven't used you didn't use against them the first time, but it works both ways. So I think your preparation, as you mentioned, it becomes even more important as you get down, when you're playing teams a second time or even a third time in a conference tournament, of how do you get every possession, every out of bounds play, every sideline out of bounds. Where can you steal a couple points that are so hard to come by on the half court? So trying to be good at all the extras, I think, is so critical to winning games like this.
And then conversely, your final 5 games. Sorry to say this after all that. First time against Texas Tech, first time against UCF. What's the challenge there in getting to know a team so late in the season and not having that recall?
Yeah, and that's especially in your as a first year head coach, new staff, like we're learning. We don't even have anything to pull from last year. So every time we play somebody, we're having to put a lot of time into the prep because we have nothing else to go off of. So for us, we're going to see everything that they have for the very first time. Where if you've been in the league a while, we played Texas Tech and Grant three straight years, and this is what they do, and this is what they run, and this is what you got to do to try to slow them down. So I know this. I've seen them enough to know they're really good.
Are they overusing replay and taking too long on?
Only when it goes against us. Yeah. So.
Take it as long as they want it to go for you, huh?
They want to get the call right, so and they're trying to do whatever they can get the angle that they need to get to make the right call, and I certainly appreciate that.
Foul disparity went the other way this time. We've asked you about it when it's gone the wrong way. You want to talk about it?
Like I said, wins, losses, I think our refs do a great job. I think they're out there doing a really good job of officiating a hard game. Everything happens fast, and I think every single night I feel like they're doing the best job they can, and tonight was no different. I think we got great officials in this league, and certainly appreciate the work they do.
Coach, during those final, 9-8 seconds when it went haywire, there were a couple timeouts there to get the ball inbounded, and you stuck with Joe as the inbounder through all of it. Just a gut feeling there, or is he the guy that you trust in that?
Yeah. I thought we could only ask about it once. We did it twice. So no, it's typically Toby is the guy that takes it out. Our second guy is Joe, and we haven't had a lot of situations like that. So we'll look at it and see what that looks like moving forward. But it certainly wasn't great those 9 seconds. So we'd like to maybe fix that a little bit.
Darren, do you have a rule on foul or defend? Are you definitely a defend guy? Does it depend on if the other team is throwing in 20-footers on the sideline, or how does that work?
I've always been a non-foul guy, and partly because it was 30 years ago, but I was a player and we were fouling, and we were up by 3, and we fouled a 3-point shooter as he caught it from half court, and he went into the shooting motion, and they got 3 free throws. Paul Lusk, he's now an assistant at Purdue. I'll never forgive him. And they beat us. So ever since then, we've never been a foul team. It hasn't cost us yet. So we've gone to overtime a few times, but we won. So as soon as I lose by not fouling, then we're going to rethink it again. But
Coach, thank you.
thank you.